So, you know, this one will be very quick. It's just, things strike me. And I want to ask a very simple question. Whose money is it? Right? Whose money is it anyway? Right? Why does this come to my mind? Because I look at these big muckety muck doctors out there and these giant platforms for different people. And I see them selling this idea of wealth equaling success. The more money you have, the measure of success is how much money you have, right? And this is the prevailing thought. And it's sold to us. Oh, and it's so very valuable. Oh my God, you're paying so much money to learn how to do real estate sales, and you're spending money learning how to, get the bag in many different ways. Everybody's out there. Everybody's selling you this information. They're all selling it. But whose money is it anyway? All right. That's the very basic question. Whose money is it anyway? See, currency was produced in North America on April 2nd, 1796. It was 1796, 77, 70. Somebody correct me. Look it up. When was currency produced in America? It was April 2nd, and I think it was 1796, 70, something like that. But the currency is printed by one group of people, right? That currency is assigned value by that same group of people. And the interest rate is defined by, go ahead, you guess, that same group of people. So whose money is it anyway? If you work for it, if you sell drugs for it, if you sell your ass for it, if you sell real estate for it, if you get a whole bunch of them, right? Whose money is it? It's like chickens that you put out in the daytime to go feed, right? In the end, those chickens will come back to their roost, right? So if he prints the money, he sets the value, he sets the interest rate, whose money is that in your pocket? Huh? If you give me $10, it's just funny. I don't know who it was, but there was something that I was raising money for. And somebody sent me $5. The notation they put was for a kidney. I don't need no kidney, I'm good. But the question is, whose money is it that you're thirsting, right? That you're going and you're spending money to learn from Dr. Muckety Muck how to get the bag, and you're learning how to do this and that, and you're spending and you're listening to these big platform peacocks and these Dr. PhD muckety mucks, all of these, right? You're listening to them and you're buying into this, right? Every day, in every possible way, they grab your attention. They have your attention. Why? Because they're speaking to something that you want, right? They're speaking to something that you want, something that you lack. So they get your attention. But what are they really doing? What are they really doing? If the money isn't theirs, if they don't own the money, if they don't print the money, if they don't set its value, if they don't set its interest rate, what are they doing? They're working for them. If every time you send me $5, you say it's for my kidney, I have to tell them that you sent me $5 and I got to pay taxes on that, right? And then after I've paid taxes on it, I got to take $2 of them and those go to where whatever it was that we were donating on, right? So that means without that man doing a damn thing, without him doing anything, he put these little pieces of paper out there, and I'll spend my whole life chasing these pieces of paper when in fact they will only go right back to him and ensure that his children are solvent and his children don't have to live like I do and chase these dollars, whose money is it anyway? So if you make $1 billion, right? Didn't Jay-Z make $1 billion? Who else? You got a couple of them that made $1 billion. Whose money is it anyway? Whose money? Hmm? That money is lent to him to use, right? But in the end, who benefits majorly? The system that produced it. And so we can't see, and we have forgotten what it means to owe your soul to the company store. So what this came into being because of, I owe my soul to the company store. What this was after the Emancipation Proclamation, and the word finally got to all of our people that they were free. You know, prior to the Emancipation Proclamation, they passed the Anti-Vagrancy Acts, which said if you didn't have ID and $3 in your pocket, they could arrest you. So they became free. But the threat was, if you should leave this plantation without identification and without $3 in your pocket, you could be arrested and they're going to put you back into slavery. So the plantation owner knew this. And the plantation owner said, okay, look, you don't have to go. You know, you can stay here if you want. You know, I ain't gonna beat you like I used to, but you can stay here. But if you don't stay here, what you gonna do? Ain't no one gonna give you an apartment for you and your babies. Ain't no one gonna rent you no apartment. Ain't nobody gonna give you no job, right? Ain't nobody looking out for you. If you leave here, what you gonna do? He said, at least here, you know Doc Adams. Doc comes and takes care of your family, don't he? Huh? You got a house you've been living in. Huh? You got food that you eat every day. You got water. You ain't got to worry about none of this. You got clothes. You got all that stuff here. Right? So you can use your freedom, right? And you can go and roll the dice with your family. Take your babies and go ahead and roll the dice. Or you could stay here. So those who were previously enslaved pushed back and was like, nah, man, because you're making money, right? The labor that we've been putting into place, you're making money from. You're selling this tobacco and competing on a global scale. You're selling this cotton and competing on a global scale in international marketplaces. So no, we're not going to just stay here. We'll take our chances with the snakes. And he said, well, wait a minute. Wait, okay, you're right. Okay, so how about if I pay you? How about if I pay you? You're right. I'm making money. I'll pay you. How much is a good amount for you? And so you talk about paying. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can stay here, right? I can stay here and I can still use Doc Adams. I can still drink your water. I can still count on that food. And I can still stay in that house that you built, right? And you're going to pay me for the work that I was doing for free. Is that what you're saying? Is that the contract? And the slave master said, that's the contract. How much do you want? They thought about it, right? Shoot. And they talked amongst themselves. Man, look, give us $5 each per week. Give us that. Can you do that? Slave master said, oh, it's a lot of money. What you gonna do with all that money? Don't worry, okay. $5. That's what I'll give you. Now remember, he's competing in international spaces with his cotton. He's competing in international spaces with his tobacco. He's making bank, right? Okay. So, but he agrees, $5, right? There's 300 of you, $5 each per week. Cool. And so they continue the relationship and the people stay on the plantation. But what happened was now, because you're being paid, right? You're being paid a percentage of these crops. right? Though they ain't never get to see the books, they don't know that it ain't really a percentage. The logic was you're being paid a percentage on this work that you're doing, on the crops that you're doing, right? And because of the emancipation, because they were now paying something that they had not previously, they devised a plan in order to be able to get that money back from those people. And the plan was to open up a store, right? And so now the farming equipment that they used to have for free, they didn't have it for free no more. They had to buy that hoe. They had to buy those tools. They had to buy these things. And they bought them from the company store. And the company store, when they went in there, was like, yo, hey, I live on the Bodie plantation. And, we need to work these fields. And I ain't got no boots. Hey, bruh, don't worry about that. We know Massa Bodie. We know your family. Man, just sign here. We'll put it on your bill. Take them boots. Take whatever you need. Go on, get what you need. Take whatever you need. We just put it on your bill. And so the end result was that Black folk ended up owing their soul to the company store. So even when they determined they wanted to leave, they couldn't because they were in debt. They owed the company store, which was run by Massa Bodie. Okay. Tell me how we're not there in 2021. Tell me how 2021 is not exactly that same model that was put in place and worked so very well for white supremacy back then. Tell me how, if they print the money, they set the value, they set the interest rate. Tell me how Black business wins. How do you win? They've lent you the money and it will go back to them no matter what, right? How does Black business in America win? How can you win? How do these Dr. Muckety Mucks focus you on this bag and sell you? So what is it that they're selling you? You whittle it all down. What are they selling you? They're selling you the dreams of white people, because you have to be dreaming to think that doing so would do anything other than enrich white people. So you've got a Black business and you make it very successful. Awesome. You know what that really means? It really means that maybe your children will inherit what you have earned. And based on your giving them an easy life, they'll piss it away. But what they can be assured of is that their children for the next 4 generations will eat on your effort, on your Black business, right? That's what it will do. If that's not true, please, somebody highlight that. Tell me that's not true, right? What about your HBCUs? What are they doing? What are they doing? They're teaching you what? How to make money, how to sell yourself, how to auction yourself. Again, let's go back to the plantation. Let's go back to the auction block and then consider your resume juxtaposed against why your family was brought here and how it worked then. Tell me how you do not draw a line between where we are right now and where we were 400 years ago. I just told a little story of the emancipated humans that had been enslaved in America and their relationship with the so-called slave master, right? And again, his biggest bargaining chip wasn't even a bargaining chip. His biggest leverage came from the fact that these people had been diminished to the point where they couldn't get their own water. When he said to you, what you gonna do if you leave the plantation? What you gonna do? Huh? You've been drinking my water. I've been feeding you. I've been making sure your baby. Remember when baby Ben got sick 6 months ago and Doc Adams came and took care of him? How would you do that? Remember when your wife was having a baby and she needed some help? How would you do that? If you leave the plantation right now, you're gonna die. If you leave the plantation, you're gonna die. You're not going to be able to survive. You're not going to be able to survive without me. But so what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? The Emancipation Proclamation took the humans that were turned into slaves and removed them from being personal property of that individual slave master and turned them into the public property of the United States of America as a corporation. That's what it did. It didn't free you. No, it changed ownership. It changed ownership. Huh? And here we are, 2021. And you got these plantation peacocks talking, selling you a dream. Wait. If a man was selling you a dream, that's one thing. But he's selling you white people's dream. It's not even his personal, because all he wants to do is be comfortable right now, right? He's going to say anything, tell you anything to keep his comfort going, okay? And to maintain comfort for his children. Yeah, so this is what your doctors are doing. This is what your plantation platforms speak to all day, every day, and it works. I watch it. It's, yo, look, some of that is what's fucking with my mentals, man. Watching how absolutely lost we are as a people. Watching. I go into conversations and I'm the odd man out because I'm saying, wait a minute. If we open a black bank, yeah, and they print the money and they set its value and they set the interest rate, all you doing is playing Monopoly, huh? You're not doing anything. It's not possible for you to win in 1 billion years in this format. Mathematically, it is not possible for us to open a black bank or 1,000 black banks or have 1,000 black people on the ticket or have 1,000 of them up in the White House or have 10 million of them. It does not equate to winning as long as you remain on the plantation, because your water, the very same leverage that the plantation owner used then, is what the plantation owner uses now. And your leaders can't say it. This is why I'm not popular, because they're not going to invite me. They are not going to invite me because I will indict them. Everything that I say indicts them, right? Because if they're not saying that, then they're selling you white people's dream. They are the biggest agent of white supremacy. Marcus Garvey said, it's one of my favorite quotes. You've heard me say it before. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Wait a minute. Let's expand that, because I'm a fan of truth. See, truth must be able to withstand 360 degrees of scrutiny, and it will remain true. There is not one single degree that a thing cannot apply, and you can still call that thing true. True is an absolute statement, okay? It's an absolute value. A thing is either true or it is not. So it must be true for me if it is true for you. So Marcus said, any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Let's take it off a race. Let's take it off a race. Let's look at, I don't know, a meerkat, right? You have a meerkat, and this meerkat been out there doing his meerkat thing. He the best meerkat there is in the world. He meerkats out here. That's what he do, right? and you trap this meerkat and you've got him in a cage. And at this point, this meerkat is dependent upon you. See, if you don't bring him water, if you don't bring him food, if you don't care for him, that meerkat's dead, right? So that meerkat depends on you, right? So let's take Marcus's word. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Let's look at the fucking meerkat. Because if that meerkat depends on you, if you should stop feeding him, then he's dead. Is this my words? Is that true? If can we apply what Marcus just said across species and it still be true? Is it true for a Russian? Is it true for a Chinese man? Is it true for an Indian, a Samoan? Is it true? Yes, it remains true. It's an absolute value. So any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race or another anything is a leadership that will enslave you. Now let's look back at your talkers and your plantation platforms. Let's look back at them. Let's listen to what they're saying. Get the bag, huh? Do whatever you can to get the bag. How far do you think that will go? If the bag is everything, right? What won't you do? What won't you do? I mean, you're already selling me your generations. You're already selling your children this idea, my dream that makes me stronger. You've already sold your babies on this idea that my money is more valuable than anything. Shit, kill my kid, I better get a payoff. I better get a settlement, huh? You've already sold to your children their dreams. Oh, it's misdirected, it's packaged in your own, right? Because I've got to have things, huh? I've got to, yeah. So it's packaged so it looks like it's for you, feels like it's for you, because right now you're comfortable. And again, it's so very elementary. You know, when you work a man that you have enslaved for 14 hours a day, when Saturday comes, if you give that man an hour off, man, look, he gonna sit up under that tree outside of the sun, get maybe a glass of lemonade if he can, and he's gonna sit there, and that right there, man, that's all he needs. And next week, you know what he's dreaming about? He's dreaming about that hour, man, and hoping that he can get that hour again. And so your little plantation peacocks want that hour. And it's the only thing that matters to them, that hour of comfort, the hour off of the plantation, the hour away from the back-breaking labor. That's all they want. That's all they want. Most of them have enough money to be free. You know, wait, let's keep it funky. On this contiguous land space, you can go to Mexico and you can buy acres of land, own that shit. You become a citizen in a few years. Own that shit. Build your own house. Have your own well inside of your gates. Have your own livestock inside of your gates. Have your own farm inside of your gates. Manage your own power inside of your gates and manage your own security. You can do this right fucking now. So could your leaders, but they don't. They don't. Your Steve Harveys, they don't. Your Jay-Z's, they don't. Why? Why don't they? You can go to the Dominican Republic right now. You can go to Africa. You can go almost anywhere away from your master. And you can own the land and you can be responsible for your own existence. There's the word. There's the word, isn't it? Responsible. See, you don't want to be a whole human being. A whole human being must assume ultimate responsibility for their own lives, for their own existence, for their own health care, for their own shelter, for their own water and food. A whole human being must assume responsibility for these things. You don't want to be a whole human being, nor do your leaders, nor do any of your celebrities, none of these plantation peacocks want to be a whole human being. They want to be kept. They want to be comfortable, is what they want. They don't want the responsibility associated of in their living into the next day. They don't want to be whole human beings, and then got the nerve to call themselves men and women. You are no man. You are no woman if you accept the subservient condition that 20 generations of our family has been born into, and the best you can do is be an agent for white supremacy. The best you can fucking do. You can't think your way clear. You can't see this game. Whose money is it anyway? Whose money is it? Is it yours? Huh? Because you ate a dick up? It's your money? It's going back to him no matter how many dicks you eat up. It's going back to him. And mine can't see it. Look, I'm trying to tell you something. You're going to chase that. You're going to be that hamster on that wheel with no form, shape, or direction. No control over the form, shape, or direction of that wheel. You're just going to run. You're going to run. Elon Musk was challenged. Somebody said to him, you know, they started putting out memes. These little, they're funny. They're funny. But rich white man put out a meme about a rich white man. And he says $6 billion from Elon Musk could solve world hunger. That man could do that just like this. And he could solve world hunger. And Elon Musk seen it. And he responded and he said, okay, I'll give you 6 billion right now. I'll give you 6 billion. Show me your plan. Show me how that's going to solve world hunger, right? And the dude started to, ain't got no plan, right? You know why? Because no matter how many times you're on that wheel, no matter how much you're chasing this bag, no matter how much, and you convince yourself and calm yourself and make yourself feel good that you're an agent of white supremacy because you got an hour of shade, right? No matter how much, right? If the man that has billions of dollars has 6 billion and said, my money can't solve this, how long are you gonna let these plantation pimps sell you this shit? How long are you gonna let them sell you the idea that it can? And that temporary comfort is the goal. I mean, you're a shame. I'm supposed to be nice, right? And y'all think that maybe when I go to therapy, what's gonna come back is it's gonna be a nicer, tamer. No, what's happening is my mind is plagued, right? My mind is plagued with so many, I'm 55 years old, I'm seeing my siblings pass away. I'm seeing mistakes that I've made in my life, things that I would have done differently. I recognize that some of the sacrifices that I've made maybe were too great a cost. And I'm trying to reconcile all these things. So I'm going to go to therapy, and I suggest everybody that has breath consider therapy. But what I'm looking to gain from therapy is not a softer, gentler me. Nah. And if that's what you're looking forward to, you will be sadly mistaken. I'm not getting gentler. No, I'm getting less interested in not offending. It's not meaning that much to me anymore. And I will say that the majority are ashamed to their ancestry, ashamed, because they had very clear goals, 100% of them. So you let a freckleback tell you that their goals were to vote You let these frecklebacks sell you their fucking dream. So everything that you hear coming out of the mouths of our people is white people's dream. Their dream, not yours. But the dream of your family, the dream of your family was freedom, not a voice. See, if I take and put that same meerkat in a cage and I'm taking care of him, I got his health care. Doc Adams takes care of him, right? He's got water, he's got food, he's got all of those things, right? I make it comfort. I put velour down in his cage and shit. You know, I got all kinds of, I make it nice for him. I give him a woman. Meerkat, man, now they're living a life, right? At what point does that meerkat not want to be out of that cage? At what point does that meerkat not want to be out of that cage? The answer to that question is when that original meerkat that you captured dies, and when his children die and forget what he used to say, and when his children die. But come along 3, 4 generations after the original capture, no, they done got scared. They outside, man, there's a cat. There's a real cat out there. I'm just a meerkat. There's another cat out there. They got dogs. Man, look, they got all kinds of challenges. I'm just staying right here in my cage. You know what I'm saying? I got water. I got food. I got Doc Adams. I got all of these things. Why would I leave my cage? I was born in this cage. This is home to me, you know. Shit, don't call me a meerkat. I ain't indigenous. I'm indigenous to this fucking cage. Yo, man. Look, again, I'm not going to spend time sanitizing my words so that you can take them more easily. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to say it the way it is, man. Whose money is it anyway? When I die, everything that I ever got, they're going to take it from me. This is how it works. It's a bottom feeder. They will take it from me. Every dollar that I get, when I spend it, it's going back to them like a boomerang, and we don't get it. And you listen to these talkers, man, telling you, here's how we get the bag, and let's go and do this, and never, ever, ever consider themselves or you outside of the context of chattel slaves, forever considering themselves kept. And from the kept position is where they plan. They don't plan to not be kept ever. They plan forward, assuming the kept position is the natural state. So don't speak to me about whole. Whole is not what we are. In order to be whole, one must have control over their own essential needs, therefore their lives within the next day. If you can't control your life into the next day, don't tell me you whole. You ain't never even thought about being whole. You ain't never even thought about being whole. It's not a part of your considerations. Instead, we'll call it 3/5 of a human being. Maintaining 3/5 of the responsibility of a man or a woman. Maintaining 3/5 of an existence because you do not control the essentials. What? Don't call yourself a man in front of me. Don't call yourself a woman in front of me and you have no control over your own existence. You're wearing it like it was a costume. You bought it like it was a kit in Walgreens and you put it on and you called it yourself, but you don't define for yourself who yourself is, absent white supremacy. Man, look, as I said, if you thought perhaps my going into therapy was somehow going to make me nicer, you've got another thing coming. Ain't no nice in me. I'm good. I ain't nice. I'm a good man. I'm not nice at all. And I'm telling you, Everything that these leaders that got your attention are selling you is white people's dream. White people don't have no, you know what? Yo, and I'm telling you, I don't want to run through your conscious community and shred every fucking body. I don't want to do that. But I will say, you hear a lot of these little cowards say, you know, you need to do your thing in the darkness. You know, you have to do it in the darkness. You can't do it in the light. You a punk. You a punk. They don't do it in the darkness. When they said they wanted to go to the moon, they had that motherfucker plastered up on buildings. They made sure everybody was talking about their goal. They made sure everybody knew about their dreams. And that is how it was made true. Because they don't hide it in a little box like a fucking slave, man. Oh, they don't do that. They're not scared that they're gonna lose something from nothing. They're not doing that. You know what they do? They tell their dream to everybody. And guess what? Your children know their fucking dream. They don't know it's theirs. Oh, but they know their dream. And they speak it and they promote it throughout themselves and each other. And they, yes. This is how they make all of these things come true. And so now, which one? Who do you want to name? Who you want to name out of your celebrities? Which one of them doesn't follow this? Which one of them isn't an agent of white supremacy? Which one of us? Which one of us isn't? You see, I'm still here in America. They're making money on my mortgage, on my utilities, right? They pay me, I get my money from them. It's fucking ridiculous. I get my money from them and then I give it back to them, right? And call myself what? Free? Is that what it is? What? Yeah. And so in the meanwhile, I can go, what? Fuck, right? I can go get ice cream. I can go. So again, an hour's worth of comfort from the 14-hour day that they're forcing you to do once a week. And that's enough, That's enough. Man, look, I don't have nice words because we are not in a nice condition. And so when I say who of us are agents, we're all fucking agents. Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm paying them. I'm keeping them strong. Every single time I exchange a penny, I'm keeping them strong, right? And for 20 generations in our family, every single one of our family members has worked to keep them strong. So we are perpetually making a system that is morphing and changing and adapting. We are perpetually keeping it strong in the hopes that one day the crumbs that they provide to us associated with keeping them strong will make us strong enough to what? By then, your generations will be so diminished, they will be non-gender identifiable. They will be non-race identifiable. Man, you want to really get into it? Yeah, I want to really get into it. What did the KKK say they didn't want? Wait, when the KKK, when you go back and you listen to what the fuck the KKK was saying, what did they not want? What were they afraid of? Why did Malcolm go meet with them? They were talking about a scenario that you're living in 2021. That's why Malcolm went and met them. They were talking about what we are living in right this minute. Wait, what were the Articles of Secession about? Anyone? What were the Articles of Secession about in the South? Those southern cities that wanted to secede, what was it about? Yes, slavery, no question, no doubt. But drill a little deeper. What was it about? It was about these pimps making rules that they didn't have to follow that would be enforced in their cities and states. That's what they were about. They didn't want anybody from outside telling them what the fuck they was going to do in their city and in their state, especially if they weren't going to follow them. That's what they were about. But even in the historical examples that we see, in all that we see, not once do we ever apply any critical thinking. Not once do we perform a lesson learned and say, well, now what was the lesson from this? What's the takeaway? None of that. We just happy jigaboos, just ready to dance and shake our ass and do the electric slide. That's all. Just surface. 3/5 of a human being. You do it. MK Naomi, look it up. MK Naomi. That was one of the declassified programs that was run by the CIA. MK equals mind control. So there was the MK Ultra, there was Project Monarch, there were all of these projects. One of the lesser known of them was Naomi, Naomi, Project Naomi. Look it up. What Project Naomi, what Naomi stand for was Negroes are only momentary individuals. Negroes are only momentary individuals. Look at us. Look at us. All we want is an hour of shade. All we want is an hour of shade. Yeah. Whose money is it anyway? Whose money is it? And for it, you'll trade generation after generation for comfort. Yo, man, maybe this is what got me fucked up, is that your most well-adjusted, those that you look up to in your community and the ones that you think are so awesome because what they do, all that right there, they're agents too. Just like I'm an agent too, right? Because I'm supporting and promoting and making stronger white supremacy every fucking day, right? So yeah, all agents. So you think they're well adjusted and they're doing great and they're successful and but they live in the context of white supremacy. They're 3/5 of a human being. And we can't see that. We think we want to think outside of the box. Who fucking told you there was a box to be in? Who put the box there? In my world, there's 360 degrees, which is a full ellipsis. It's a full circle, right? I don't conform to the box. See? Again, we do not consider ourselves whole humans. We only consider ourselves in the context of chattel slaves to be taken care of. And if you cannot identify the instruments of your oppression, you will remain chattel slaves for another 100 generations. And your plantation peacocks and your platform pimps aren't telling you that. They're not telling you that. They're selling you that. Well, guess what? This little talk is free. I don't sell shit. I don't need nothing. This little talk was free. You take it or you don't. I will make it very clear. I know what's happening around me. I've watched. I'm not, again, there's, I made mention one time of the movie Do the Right Thing. It was excellent. It was rudimentary in Spike Lee's history. And it was very clear. He introduced you to the characters, and then he put those characters into situations that were volatile, and you saw how those characters would respond. And then after he was finished introducing you to each of the characters, they created a catalyst and fire at Sal's Pizza Shop, and everyone was polarized, and you saw each person respond in the way that they did, right? He set it up perfectly. America, right in front of you, has been set up perfectly. You watched the healthcare system fail. You watched the supply chains fail. You watched in Texas as the utilities fail. You watched the water filtration and sanitations be accessed by malicious actors, right? You're watching the infrastructure fail. You're watching absolutely everything that was produced on the innocent blood of human beings over 400 years crumble. And still you stand saying, but Massa got it. He gonna be all right. He gonna still be, buck up, Massa. You gonna be able to provide my water into tomorrow. You're gonna be all right. They got us in the position of house Negro and we don't even know it. Your most revolutionary fucking talkers are house Negroes and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They calling somebody a coon and don't know. They don't know. And so this is why I'm not a part of your woke community, not a part of your conscious community. I'm not joining your fucking groups. I'm not calling myself by your names. Y'all don't look like me, man. I don't subscribe to their bullshit, man, to define myself. I don't. And so as a result of that, again, I don't fit in. I will never be popular. You will never see me on their little panels. You will never see me at their symposiums because I'll whip their ass. I'm not playing with them little pimps. Yeah, so you ain't never gonna see that happen. Again, like I said, they selling you some shit. I gave it to you. You keep it, you use it. Come lay, stay, or pray. We moving. Hear me? All right.